الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
आज जिन सहाबा का मैं जिक्र करूंगा,
Hazur says that the companions which I am going to mention today, the first name is Sahib bin Usman, Raziyallahu ta'ala anhu. he related to tribe Abu Juma, and he was related to Hazrat Usman bin Mazoon. He was his son, and the name of the mother was Hazrat Khawla bint Hakim, and he was among and he accepted Islam in the early stages. Hazrat Sahib bin Usman, from his father and uncle, along with them, he migrated to the second migration towards Habsha. The Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, after the migration to Medina, Hazrat Sahib bin Usman and Arsa bin Suraka Ansari, he established the brotherhood between the two. His mention is counted among the people who used to use arrows, and in Ghazwa Badr and Uhud and also in the Battle of Ditch he participated. He participated along with the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In Ghazwa Boas, the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was appointed the Amir in Medina. Ghazwa Boas, which took place in the second year of Hijrah. Regarding that, Hazrat Mirza Bashir Ahmad Sahib has written that the last few days of Rabiul Awwal are in the beginning of Rabiul Sani. The Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he received some information from the Quraysh. At that, along with a group of the Muhajirin, he went out of Medina, and in his absence, Sahib bin Usman bin Mazoon was appointed the Amir in Medina. But the Quraysh did not find it out, and after some point he came back. This place was is 48 miles. It is the name of a Johina tribe. Hazrat Sahib bin Usman, he joined young Yamama. That was fought during the period of Hazrat Abu Bakr in year 12, and he was hit by an arrow, and as a result of that he died later on. His age was slightly over 30. The next Sahabi which I am going to mention, Hazrat Samra bin Amr Johni. His father's name was Amr bin Adi, and some people say as Bishr. He related to the tribe Banu Tarif, allies of Banu Tarif, and some say that he was the ally of Banu Saida, which was the tribe of Saad bin Abu Ubadah. And there was a treaty between them that whenever they will need the help of one another, so they would be helping one another. Allama ibn Asir in Asadul Ghaba, he writes that Banu Tarif is the branch of this tribe. Hazrat Namra, he participated in Ghazwa Badr and Uhud, and he later on got martyred. And the other companion is Hazrat Saad bin Suhail. He was from Ansar. Some have mentioned Saeed bin Suhail. Hazrat Saad, he participated in Badr and Uhud, and one of his daughter was Suhaila. Only this much is mentioned. Then Saad bin Ubaid, Sahabi, he was Hazrat Saad bin Ubaid. He Ghazwa Badr, Uhud, Khandak, and he fought along with the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His name is mentioned to be Said. He was known by the title of Qari, and Abu Zaid was the title. he is counted among those four companions who from among the Ansar during the period of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, they compiled the Holy Quran and put it together. His son Umar, he was the ruler of one part of Syria during the period of Hazrat Umar. Hazrat Saad bin Ubaid, during the period of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, he was in Masjid Quba. He used to lead the prayer there. Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu and Hazrat Umar Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu, during their period, they were performing the same duty of Imamat. Hazrat Saad bin Ubaid, in the 16th year of migration, in the Battle of Qadisiyah, he got martyred. His age at that time was 64. Abdul Rahman bin Abu Layla narrates that the Battle of Jasr, who was in 13th year, in that Saad bin Ubaid was defeated, and they suffered quite a loss. They came back, they retreated. Then Hazrat Saad bin Ubaid, Hazrat Umar told them that if you are interested in the fighting in somewhere else, because there is very bloody battle they had, Muslims had suffered quite a loss. If you are interested, so then you go there. And because of this bloodshed, the enemies have become emboldened, so go and join them. And he said that perhaps you will be able to wash away the blame of defeat that has come to you, because the Muslims had suffered in that on that occasion. Hazrat Umar said that this defame that you have got, that mark can be effaced if you go there. Hazrat Saad mentioned, no, I will not go except that land from where I have come defeated, and I will go against those enemies, those whatever they did to me. That means that they became victorious, and Hazrat Saad bin Ubaid, he came to Qadisiyah, and he entered into fighting, and he got martyred. Abu Layla narrates that the Saad bin Ubaid, he addressed the people and told them that tomorrow we are going to confront the enemy, and tomorrow we are going to be martyred. So therefore, you don't wash our clothes at that time, and nor give us another coffin or the clothing apart from that we are wearing at this time. And the detail that I have mentioned last time, and there is something which I would like to add today. As I mentioned, that Jang-e-Jasr, it was fought in 13 Hijri on the bank of the Furat river, and the leader of the Muslim army was Abu Ubaid Sakfi was the leader, when from the Iranian side Bahman Jadwiya was the leader. The Muslims were 10,000, when the Iranian army was 30,000 warriors and 300 elephants, and the river Furat was in between. So because of that, both the groups, for some time, both of them, they did not fight. And then with the agreement of both the parties on Furat, there was a bridge created on this river, and because of that, this fight is known as the Jang-e-Jasr, of the bridge, the fight of the bridge. And then Abu Ubaid was given a message that you cross the river with this bridge, or you are going to give us the permission to cross it. Abu Ubaid was of opinion that that Muslim army should cross the river on the bridge and go and fight them. And there was one Hazrat Salit that was against this opinion, but Hazrat Abu Ubaid, he crossed the river and he attacked the enemies, and there was fight was going on. And then Bahman Jadwiya, when he saw his people being defeated, and he saw that the Iranian army is retreating, so he asked that the elephants should be brought in. And when the elephants came, then there was disorder in Muslim army, and the the people were being spread here and there. So then he said to the people, you said that you attack the elephants and cut their trunks. And Hazrat Ubaid attacked one elephant and cut the trunk of and he injured and he cut the and the feet of the elephants, and he attacked them, but he came under the feet of some opponent, and as such he was martyred. And 7 people, one by one, they took hold of the banner, and they one by one they were got murdered. The 8th one was Muslima, and he attacked the army, but the rank and file of the Muslim army was disturbed. And after looking the 7 people being martyred, some of these people, they were running around. Some fell into the river, and others they fought steadily, and he got this person, he fought to the end, and then he crossed the bridge and came back. The Muslims suffered quite a lot in this encounter. There are 6,000 warriors of Iranians were killed, while Muslims also lost 4 people. This war was because the Iranians were attacking again and again. To stop their attack, this permission was given that Muslims should enter into fight. And then this companion, Hazrat Sahal bin Atiq, his name is mentioned as Suhail. The mother was Jamila, daughter of Alqama. And Sahal bin Atiq, with 70 people, he was in Baitul Aqbasaniya and participated in Badr and Uhud. And then another companion is Suhail bin Rafi. He was from the Banu Najjar, and the place where the Holy Prophet's mosque was built, that was his and his brother Sahal. They were the owners, and the name of the mother was Suhaila. And he Uhud and Badr and Khandak, the ditch, he participated in all that, and he died in the period of Hazrat Umar Raziyallahu Ta'ala anhu. Ahmad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, after his migration to Medina, mentioning that Hazrat Muslim Maud Raziyallahu Ta'ala anhu, what he has written is, I present that he said that when he entered into the Medina, everybody wished that the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam should stay at his home, and from whichever lane the she-camel walked through, and the people stood by the side, and they received the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and they would say that, O Prophet of Allah, this is our house, come, and this is our wealth, and these are our lives, so which are ready to serve you. So, O Prophet of Allah, and we are also able to defend you, so you please stay with us. So some of them, very excited, they would come and they would take hold of the she-camel so that they can make him come to their home. But he would give the reply to everyone that, leave my she-camel. Today she is appointed by God Almighty, and that wherever Allah Almighty would like, she will sit there, and she will stop wherever is the intention of Allah. Finally, at one side of Medina, there was in the land of Banu Najjar, the she-camel stood there. The Holy Prophet ﷺ, this is the will of Allah, seems to be that we should stay here. And he said that this land, to whom it belongs, it belonged to some orphans, and the wali came forward and he said that this is the property of such and such orphan, and this is ready for your service. The Holy Prophet ﷺ, that we can't take the property of everyone without paying. When the price was settled and that was given, and he decided to build a mosque in that place. Hazrat Mirza Bashir Ahmad Sahib has given the detail of this in Sirat Khatamun Nabiyyin. He has given the detail as such that the very first thing which was done in Medina was the establishment of the Mosque of the Holy Prophet, where the she camel sat, that belonged to two people of two orphans, and Sahal and Suhail, and they were under the care of Asad bin Zurara. This was a far-off place. It was a very deserted and barren land, and in one part of that there were some date trees, one or two, and in the other part there was some remnants, deserted houses. The Holy Prophet ﷺ, he decided to convert it for his residence and for the mosque, and 10 dinar the payment was made. And after leveling the earth and by cutting the trees, this building of the mosque started. According to one narration, this money which was given was paid by Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq to purchase this land. And then he writes that after leveling this area and by cutting the trees, this start of the building of the mosque started, and the Holy Prophet ﷺ, he prayed himself and laid the foundation stone. And as it happened in the Masjid-e-Quba, the companions, they worked as laborers and builders, and in which occasionally the Holy Prophet ﷺ himself used to take part. Sometime he would lift the brick, and Abdullah bin Rawaha, they would this verse which says that, and the verse means that this heaviness, this heavy thing is not the worldly thing which comes on the back of the animals. Rather, O Allah, this burden is the righteousness and the purity which we carry for your sake. And this, and some people used to recite the poet Sa'd bin Rawaha, and it means that, O Allah, the real reward is the reward of the hereafter. So by your grace, Ansar and Muhajirin, the immigrants and the helpers, you give this reward to them. When these companions, they were reciting these verses, so then the Holy Prophet ﷺ used to join with them and recite along with them. And after a long effort, finally the mosque was complete. And the mosque was built from the stones and bricks, and some other material was used there. This was in order to make the building strong, this was customary that people used to put the logs of wood put there and make it like a pole, and in that, in between, they used to build the wall by stones and bricks to make it very strong. And on the roof, they used to put the branches of the date trees, and for the support, there were pillars of date trees. And when the member was not introduced, the podium where he used to stand and speak, and along with one of the pillars, the Holy Prophet ﷺ used to lean against that and speak. And the floor was very rough and dusty, so when there was some drops of rain used to come in, so sometimes there was mud inside the mosque. So looking at this problem, later on, some solid roof was, a solid floor was made. In the beginning, the direction was towards Baitul Maqdis, but after the Qibla direction was changed, the direction was also changed. The height of the mosque at that time, it was 10 feet. The height of the roof was 10 feet, and the length was 105 feet, and the width was 90 feet. But later on it was expanded. 105 and 90, this area is good enough for 1500 or 1600 people. In one corner, there was a pavement in the corner which was called Sufa, and that was for those poor immigrants who were without any homes and no jobs. And these people used to live there, and they used to be called the Sabu Sufa, the people of the pavement. And And the purpose of these people was to be in the company of the Holy Prophet and to pray and to recite the Holy Quran. And there was no permanent means of earning for these people. The Holy Prophet ﷺ would look after these people, and whenever any gift would come to the Holy Prophet, or there was something to be eaten in the home, then he would give them a share out of that. So this happened very frequently, and many a time he used to himself starve, the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and whatever was available in the house, he would give all that food to the people of Sufa, Ashab Sufa. And the Ansar, they were also looking after the hospitality of these people, and they would bring the twigs of the date tree with the dates on that, and bunch of dates were used to bring. But these people were very often very hungry, and this condition continued for many years. And after that, there were some job in Medina, the laborers, the job of labor then, and their condition was slightly improved. And along with the mosque, the Holy Prophet ﷺ, for him the residence was created. What sort of makan in the house? It was just a small room, and in between this small room and the mosque, there was a door. The Holy Prophet ﷺ would come into the mosque through that door. And when the Holy Prophet ﷺ married more, and then there are more small houses and created along with this first room. And this was the first mosque of the Prophet in the Medina, and there was no other building at that time where national affairs could be settled. So all the jobs related to state, they were also settled. This was office, this was the secretariat of the state, and this is where he had to the meeting with the companions. All the consultation took place there. The cases were decided here, and from here the orders were issued. And this was the National Hospitality Center, Mehman Khana, the kitchen, and every national work which was to be done, that was performed in this very mosque. And when required, that when the prisoners of war, they were also kept in the mosque, and many such prisoners were there, that they would see the Muslims worshipping and praying and living very love and affection. They became Muslims by looking at that. Anyway, about that, Sir William Muir mentions who is a Orientalist, and he very often writes against Islam, but he writes about this, that although this mosque, so far as the equipment of the material was, it was very simple, but Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it was his mosque. It occupies a very special position in Islamic history. The Holy Prophet and his companions, they used to spend most of the time here, and here the prayer in congregation officially started here. Here all the Muslims would gather on Friday, and they would come here to listen to the fresh revelation. Very respectfully they would come, and here Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he would plan his victories and formulate that plan. And this was the place where those people who were defeated, they were being presented to the Holy Prophet here. And this was the place where the royal decree was also declared. And this was something which was very difficult for the opponents. And this was the place where in the house of Hazrat Aisha, the Holy Prophet ﷺ breathed his last, and he is also buried in that. And the mosque and the neighboring stores, rooms, they were prepared in 17 months. And then he went along with his wife, Hazrat Sauda, the wife of the Holy Prophet. He went along with that. And some other people, they also got some property nearby and built their house. And those who couldn't get the land there, they built their houses far away. And sometime the already built up houses were acquired by Ansar. Hazrat Suhail and his brother, they were very fortunate. Those who they had the honor of presenting their land for this first center of Islam. Hazrat Saad bin Khasma, he related to the tribe Aus. His mother's name was Hind bint Aus. Abu Zayya, he was a Badri companion. He was brother from the mother side. His title Abu Khasma and Abu Abdullah, both are mentioned. The Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Hazrat Saad bin Khasma and Abu Salma, between them he established the brotherhood between them. Hazrat Saad was among the 12 Naqib, those the pronouncers, those the Holy Prophet ﷺ, on the occasion of Baitul Aqaba, they were appointed to be these preachers, or the this duty, how this was appointed, and the names of those people who were the speakers. In a way, I am going to give you some detail. Sirat Khatibun Nabiyyin, this detail has been mentioned by Hazrat Mirza Bashir Ahmad Sahib, that in Zilhijjah month of at the occasion of Hajj, Aus and Khazraj, many hundred people came to Medina. There were 70 people, they had become Muslims, or they wanted to become a Muslim at that time. The Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they came to meet the Holy Prophet to Mecca, and Musab bin Umair was among them. Musab, his mother was alive, and she was a mushrika, a non-believer. And when she came to know about this news, she sent a message that first you come and meet me, and then you go somewhere else. Musab replied that I have not met the Holy Prophet so far. So after meeting him, and then I will come to you later on. So he went to the Holy Prophet after meeting him and telling him all the details, and then he went to his mother. And she was very angry, and she cried very much and very complained. Musab said that, mother, I tell you something very good, which is very useful for you, and that will decide all the problems between us. She said, what is that? Musab replied quietly, only this much, that you stop the idol worship and become Muslim and believe in the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She was very staunch idol worshipper, so she cried that I swear in the name of the stars that I am not going to enter into your faith. And he pointed out to his relatives that capture the Musab and make him a prisoner, but he ran away. Anyway, the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam he had come to know about the coming of Ansar, and some people had already met him privately. But as on that occasion there was a meeting to have a separate meeting with that. So after the ceremonies of the Hajj was over in Zulhijjah, in the middle dates, on that date at mid of the night, all these people, they came to the same hillock and met the Holy Prophet ﷺ, so that the Holy Prophet could discuss the matters quite at length with them. And the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, don't come together, come in one or two, because the enemy can see you and give you some harm. And if somebody is asleep, so don't wake him up, and don't wait for those who are absent. So when on the appointed day came, then at the night time, 1/3 of the night has passed by, the Holy Prophet ﷺ came out alone, and on the way he took his uncle Hazrat Abbas, who had not accepted Islam, but he loved him very much, and he was a chief of the family. And both of them, they came to that hilly passage, and there were 70 people, and Aus and Khazraj, they belonged to both these tribes. First of all, Hazrat Abbas, he started the conversation. He said that he has not become Muslim, that, oh people of Hazraj, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his family is a very honored and respected person, And that family has been looking after him. And at every time of danger, they have been confronting the enemy. So now the intention of Muhammad is to leave his place and go to your place. So if you want to have him there, then you will have to fully protect him. And in front of every enemy, you have to stand in guard. If you are ready, then it's all, sir. Otherwise, tell me very frankly, and because the plain thing is good. So there, an old man of Ansar, a Buzurg, from that he said, Abbas, we have listened to what you said, but we wish that the Holy Prophet ﷺ should say something himself, and the responsibility which he wants to put on us, that should be explained. At that, the Holy Prophet ﷺ, he recited some verses of the Holy Quran, and then made a short speech and gave them the teaching of Islam and the duties of Allah and duties of fellow beings. He explained, and he said that for me, I only need this one, that just as you protect your near and dear ones, similarly when the need is there, you also deal with me. When the Holy Prophet ﷺ finished his brief talk, so Bara bin Masroor, according to the Arab tradition, he took his hand, the hand of the Holy Prophet ﷺ in his hand, and he said that in the name of Allah Almighty, who has sent you with the truth and guidance, that we will protect you just as we protect ourselves. We have been brought up under the shade of the swords. And he was just saying this one. It was not finished yet. That Abul Hassam Bantehian, another person was sitting there. He came in and he said that, O Prophet of Allah, he had accepted Islam, that the Jews of Yasrib, we have linked with them, old link there. So those links will be severed. So it may not be that when Allah Almighty gives you the dominance, so you can leave us and go back to your place, and we should be nowhere, neither here nor there. The Holy Prophet ﷺ, no, not like that. It will never happen. Your blood is my blood, and your friend is my, and your friends are my friends, and your enemies are my enemies. At that, Abbas bin Abada Ansari, he looked at his companions and he said that, don't you think that what is the meaning of this statement? It means that every black and white and every person, you have to be ready to confront these people. Every person who is going to oppose the Holy Prophet, you have to confront that. You have to be ready for that. And for every sacrifice, you should be ready. So the people said, yes, we know. But O Prophet of Allah, in lieu of that, what we will get? These people, they asked that we will do everything. But then what we will be able to get? The Holy Prophet said, you will get the paradise from your Lord, which is the greatest reward from all the rewards. All of them, they said, yes, we agree on this settlement. O Prophet of Allah, you extend your hand. And he extended his blessed hand. And these 70 people, those who were there, they made the bayat at the hand of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. This is Bayat Akbasaniya. And he said to the and he said that Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, he selected 12 Naqib, the preachers from there, who were always protecting him. I am also thinking of appointing 12 protectors and your guardians, and they would be like the disciples of Hazrat Isa, and they would be responsible to me regarding the people. So you propose the names of suitable people for this purpose. So 12 people names were proposed, which he accepted, and he was appointed the guardian on one of the tribe, and the duties were explained to them. And for some tribes he appointed 2 supervisors, and these are the names of them: Asad bin Zurara, Usaid bin Hudail, Abul Hassam, Malik bin Tehan, Saad bin Ubada, Bara bin Maruf, Abdullah bin Rawaha, Ibadah bin Samit, Saad bin Rabi, Rafi bin Malik, Abdullah bin Amr, and Saad bin Khasma, about which we had. He was one of those supervisors, Saad bin Khasma and Munzir bin Amr. At the time of the migration to Medina in Quba, the Holy Prophet ﷺ, Hazrat Kalsum's house, he stayed there, and it is mentioned about that the Holy Prophet ﷺ, he stayed in the house of Saad bin Khasma, and it is said that the stay was of the Holy Prophet was Hazrat Kalsum bin Hizam, but when he came out of his house and sat with people, that was Saad bin Khasma's house. Bait Aqba Ula, the first one. After that, when the Holy Prophet ﷺ, when he appointed Musab bin Umair, he sent for the training of the Muslims in Medina. So after some time, he sought the permission to offer the Jummah prayer, and he permitted them, and he gave the instruction about Jummah. So according to this instruction, in the Medina, the very first Jummah, that was offered at the house of Saad bin Khasma. It was offered there. This Tabaqatul Kubra, this reference there. Hazrat Saad bin Khasma in Quba, there was a well which he owned, which was named as Al-Ghars. The Holy Prophet ﷺ used to drink the water from there, and the Holy Prophet ﷺ, he said about this well, that this is one of the fountains of the paradise, and its water is very good. It was sweet and cold. After his demise, he was given the bath with the water of this well. And it is narrated that the Holy Prophet ﷺ said that when I die, so then from this well of Ghars, you take some bucketful and water and use that for my bathing. And Muhammad bin Ali narrates that the Holy Prophet ﷺ, he was bathed 3 times. He was with water and with the leaves of a certain tree, and the shirt was not taken off. And Hazrat Abbas and according to one narration, Hazrat Osama bin Zaid and Shukran and Hazrat Aus bin Khawali, he also joined in bathing the Holy Prophet ﷺ and washing. Because of the adversity of the non-believers, when some people, some of them, the very first destination was the house of Ibn Khasma. Saad bin Khasma, they used to come and stay there. For example, Hazrat Hamza, and some other names are mentioned. Hamza, Hazrat Zaid bin Harsa, Hazrat Abu Kabsha, Mawla Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was a slave, and Abdullah bin Masood. After he migrated, then Saad bin Khasma, at his place he stayed. Sulaiman Abban, he narrates that when the Holy Prophet ﷺ went for Badr, Hazrat Saad bin Khasma and his father, both of them, they decided to go along with him. And he mentioned this thing to the Holy Prophet, that both of them, the father and this son, they are leaving their home. He said that out of the two, only one can go. They should draw the lot. And Hazrat Khasma, he said to his son that only one can go. So you stay with the ladies. And the son, he told the son that you stay with the ladies. And if he says that if apart from Jannat there was any other proposal, then I would have to give you the preference. But I am also very desirous of martyrdom. So when they drew the lot, then it was was Hazrat Saad, and he went for the battle of Badr, and he got martyred. And according to one statement, Uema bin Adi was the one who killed him, and Uema was killed by Hazrat Hamza, and the other one was killed in Jang-e Khandak. Hazrat Ali says that on the day of Badr, when the day dawned and the sun rose, and when the rows of the Muslims and the non-believers, they came together, war began, and I followed one person. I see that on the hillock of sand, Saad bin Khasma is fighting with a non-believer, and that non-believer, he killed Hazrat Saad, and that person was having a very strong protective shield. I recognized him, but he did not recognize me. He challenged me for fight when he was about to attack me. So I just went back little bit so that he should not be too high. And this is the principle of battle, that the enemy should come closer. And because I I hated this thing that he should attack me from the height when I was reversing. Then he said that, Ibn Abi Talib, son of Abi Talib, are you running? He said, no. He said, and I said in reply, that Ishtara, son of Ishtara, to run away is very close. It is impossible. And that was a proverb in Arabs. It is written in Tariq, in history, that there was a robber who used to come, and when people attacked, when he would run away, then it was temporary, but he would come again. So this is a proverb in Arabic language, that you reverse for the technique and then you attack again. So when Hazrat Ali said, when I settled and that came very close to me, so he attacked me with his sword, which I took on my shield, and I attacked on his shoulder so strong that his body was cut asunder, and I thought that that is going to be the end of his life. And I saw the flash of the sword and this from my back, and when I lowered my head, that sword is coming, and that sword was coming with so much power that it struck the enemy, and that his head was chopped off. Hazrat Ali said that when I turned back and saw that Hazrat Hamza was there, and he was saying that you take care of my strike. I'm Ibn Abdul Muttalib, and Hazrat Saad was martyred in that way. In the Battle of Badr, according to one narration, along with the Holy Prophet ﷺ, there were two horses. Musab bin Umair was on one, and on that the Saad bin Khasma, they were riding, and Hazrat Zubair bin Awam and Miqdad bin Aswad, turn by turn, they used to ride on that. In the Battle of Badr, how many horses the Muslims had at that time, about that there are different narrations in history. Hazrat Mirza Bashir Ahmad Sahib's opinion is that Muslims had at that time only 70 camel and 2 horses, and some books say that 3 and 5 the number of horses is mentioned. Anyway, whatever means and animals they had, their number was it was far too small as compared with what the enemies had, and there was no proportion between the two. But when the Muslims were attacked and a war was imposed upon them, and the kafir in their thinking, they came that we are going to smash Islam and finish it. So then these believers, they did not look towards their provision and means of war, but for the sake of Allah Almighty, and they were ready to sacrifice. And that is from this reply also it is clear that there was no desire of any worldly victory or things. There was a question of sacrificing in the way of Allah. So the son told his father that here in this case I cannot give you the preference. So this was the desire which was accepted by Allah, and Allah Almighty may continue to raise the status of these companions.
Alhamdulillah, nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayhi wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله عباد الله رحمكم الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون اذكروا الله يذكركم وادعوه يستجب لكم ولذكر الله أكبر.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد.